In Ghana, the World Engineering Day 2023 celebration is being conducted from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi. The theme for this year's celebration is Engineering Innovation for a Resilient World. In this presentation, Engineering Education and STEM, Africa Centers of Excellence on Transport (TREC), Professional Engineering Institutions, Applied Research, Women in Engineering, Engineering Practice, Indigenous Manufacturing are what is highlighted in this presentation. We recognize that the world is working towards the Sustainable Development Goals (SDG 2030), while at the same time in Africa, we are building capacity for the African Union Agenda AU 2063, the Africa we want. The SDG 2030 goals of focus in this year's World Engineering Day 2023 celebration includes We bring you greetings to all engineers, engineering practitioners, students studying engineering, and encouraging young people, especially girls, to study science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In a resilient world of ours, as we fulfill our mandate on sustainable development goals, quality education is of utmost importance, and therefore, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology holds engineering education in high esteem as we celebrate resilient engineers all around the world.
Warm regards to our engineers all over the world. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you for joining us on this occasion of the World Engineering Day. You are at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the College of Engineering, and this is one of the colleges in KNUST, where we train engineers at the undergraduate and the postgraduate level. We would like to congratulate you on this day for the role you play in making the world a better place. I would like to welcome you to the College of Engineering on this occasion of the World Engineering Day. The theme is Engineering Innovation in a Resilient World, and we all have a role to play to make the world a better place. At the College of Engineering, we focus on training engineers. We have been training engineers for the past 70 years. In Ghana, Kumasi, we have 18 undergraduate programs and over 60 postgraduate programs. At the College of Engineering, we also have centers of excellence and programs that support our activities. We have the Regional Environmental Sanitation Center of Excellence that focus on water and sanitation. We have a Center of Excellence on Climate Change and Land Use, that's a WASCAL, focusing on climate change. And we also have the Brew Hammond Energy Center, focusing on energy. We have the KNUS Engineering Education Project, focusing on digital development and energy. And last but not the least, we have the Regional Transportation Research and Education Center at Kumasi, focusing on postgraduate education in transportation and road engineering. I therefore encourage you to stay tuned and enjoy the programs we have at TREC.
We are the premier Africa Center of Excellence in Transport and Logistics in Africa. We bring students from all over Africa. Currently, we have students from 10 countries, but we are seeking to reach 20 countries in the next 5 years. As a center, our vision is to be the leading hub in the training of transportation professionals, conducting applied research and technology transfer, and also providing professional short courses for the industry. Our students do at least 6 weeks of practical internship with the industry, where they are embedded with practitioners who give them hands-on training. And all this because we need to build more resilient transport systems. And therefore, the training that we give to our students, we're making them very robust, very down to earth, and yet very relevant, globally and locally applicable.
In the area of engineering education and applied research being conducted, and with the innovations to support industry, the Sustainable Development Goals on energy, water, education, industry, sanitation are all focal points of interest to KNUST's Center of Excellence in Transport, TREC.
As a center, we work in 4 thematic areas: traffic management and smart cities. So here we have intelligent traffic systems and smart cities research, and all our research is applied. We also have sustainable and resilient transport infrastructure team, where we work on pavement materials and things that will make the infrastructure more durable. We also have another team on urban public transport, gender and governance, looking at formalizing the informal transport system. And then we have integrated logistics and transport research team.
The innovations in training next generation transport professionals and delving more into the collaboration between the Ghana Highway Authority and TREC KNUST resolved issues of traffic congestion on our roads and runabouts.
With transport, specifically on road, there are a number of issues, and I would want to highlight some of them, specifically on runabout. With the rise in traffic demand and the demand exceeding the design capacity, usually congestion were observed on these runabouts during the peak period. So TREC, in collaboration with Ghana Highway Authority, had to come together and explore for the mitigation or the solution to the congestion that were observed on the Ejoso to TEC corridor. And like I mentioned, the transport team from TREC and then the design team from GHA met and then explored a number of possible solutions, which included a conventional single lane runabout. It included a conventional double lane runabout. It included a conventional signalized runabout. It included a table runabout. And then the last one was what we have here. This is a classical example of the innovation TREC in collaboration with Ghana Highway Authority design team developed in order to provide a sustainable and resilient transportation facility in Kumasi to solve congestion problem.
This is how it came about. At the Ejoso roundabout, Odium roundabout, Boedi roundabout, and KNUST roundabouts, it had been observed over a number of years that now there was unbearable congestion, traffic congestion there, and then also there were the rampant toppling of large vehicles, heavy goods vehicles, trucks and trailers, trying to negotiate the mini roundabouts existing at these 4 intersections. And so there was high traffic congestion, regular accidents, and high vehicular emissions due to high traffic volumes and low speeds. We had, as GHA, the objective of improved functionality, that is reduction of travel time, improved road safety, and then also reduced air pollution. But how would we arrive at these? GHA and DUR, that is the Ghana Highway Authority and the Department of Urban Roads, had done some preliminary traffic studies that had helped to establish the existing capacity of the intersections and also the level of service ratings. GHA had also gone ahead to start the modeling geometrically of the intersections. However, it got to a point where we needed to finalize these designs, and that is where TREC of KNUST came to mind. Some important technical considerations that were important to this project was number one, traffic study and traffic analysis. We had to do on-site and then current traffic study. So through traffic was counted, and then also turning movements were observed. And then these were used at the various levels of capacity analysis. That helped us to realize the level of service rating that was current or existing at that time. And then also projected traffic was used also to model the remodeled or to remodel the intersection, and then the model that brought us the acceptable level of service ratings was what at the end of the day was implemented.
As engineering practice and regulation and leadership from Ghana to the global stage is of much concern to us.
Currently, as supervisor, the project works at the Santo Cruz Locato Road project in Mba County. While at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology serves me well with the interaction between the professors and the students. And I remember quite well that Prof. Adams, Prof. Salifu, Prof. Tufo were very, very good instrumental in helping us achieve our academic knowledge at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Tech. And not forgetting Professor Ampidu. They were all instrumental, and I'm very much appreciative to them for what they did for us. And for my fellow librarians who are going to enroll at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Tech, or who are already there, I tell them that the university is a very high-ranking university in Africa and the world. And whatever you learn there will be very useful to you. Because what I learned there is very useful to me at my workplace, and it helps me very well into it and executing my job very well.
Music bed.
The importance of education is for industry, therefore the need for academia-industry relations and training the next generation engineers in STEM and innovations, coupled with indigenous technologies across medicine, agriculture, amongst others. The School of Engineering Sciences at the University of Ghana is also involved in training the next generation of engineering scientists and practitioners.
So from the viewpoint of the School of Engineering Sciences here at the University of Ghana, we are making a lot of effort to involve industry in what we do here. So we are open to industrial partnerships. So we have a list of industrial partners. For each of the departments, we have industrial partners. We have encouraged industry to come and adopt courses. And I've actually started seeing some of this happening. We have other industrial partners who are coming in, offering internship positions. And then we also have those who are here to ensure that they offer their support. Industry partners who come to class as resource persons to ensure that they get some of the practical training that they need in addition to the theory that we provide. In all of this, our objective is to train up engineers who can actually go out into the world because they are problem solvers and critical thinkers and can address the very many complex problems that we have in our country and even beyond.
Hello, my name is Michael Asante Afrifa, and I'm the co-founder and Chief Operations Officer of DEX Technology. We're a company that is at the forefront of transforming science education in Ghana and Africa by providing every child with a lab that fits in their bags. Now, the Science Set was born out of passion for science education and ensuring that every child in Ghana could experience science practically. To do this, we had to imbue every child with a love and a true understanding of science. Normally, you would do this by giving every child a science laboratory, but this is very expensive. One, to build and to manage. So, as a way to innovate, we created the Science Set. Now, the Science Set delivers curriculum-specific practical lessons that every child can do right on their desk, and it is as affordable as a textbook. Since the manufacturing of the Science Set, we have reached over 5,000 students in over 300 classrooms across the country. The Science Set has changed the way that science education is delivered to students. Teachers have now found a tool that allows them to deliver science in a way that students understand. And students have found a new passion for science because of the Science Set. It has given every child a way to perceive science practically, which before then was just on the blackboard. So as we celebrate the World Engineering Day with the theme, Engineering Innovation in a Resilient World, we at DEX would like to appreciate all the parents and teachers and students who have been part of this wonderful journey. Your continual support is the driving innovation behind the Science Set.
The Ghana Institution of Engineering is the national member of the World Federation of Engineering Organization and the Federation of African Engineering Organizations, and it is a licensed body of the Engineering Council of Ghana according to Act 819-2011 and LI 2410-2020. As engineering practice and regulation and leadership from Ghana to the global stage is of much concern to us.
Well, we are trying to get engineers to play more significant role in the society by also speaking their mind on all national issues, reaching out on all platforms available to them, be it the airwaves and public lectures and other such fora. So we are getting our engineers to also play public roles, writing in the papers and getting out to people to let them understand what our viewpoint is. These are some of the ways we are trying to get out to our engineers to be more visible and contribute to national discourse. And well, as you know, the youth is the future, so we try to bring on board the youth students and pupils in the primary schools and the universities and secondary schools through various boot camps, including the robotics boot camp, which we organize every 4th of March, which is the World Engineering Day, trying to get them to get some interest in engineering so that they can pick engineering, and that can help us continue to develop engineering minds for the future and get people innovative and contribute to engineering.
The Engineering Council of Ghana is the national institution for the registration and regulation, the practice of engineering, including firms, academic institutions, and all practitioners from engineering occupational groups in Ghana. Professional engineers, technologists, technicians, and craftsmen are all involved. The Engineering Council has 2 licensed bodies: professional engineering institutions who register and support the regulation of engineering practice, the Ghana Institution of Engineering, and the Institute of Engineering Technology.
First, a key part of our mission is really to license the practitioners. Meaning, and of course, if you are licensed, you have to make sure that you have the appropriate qualification to practice. So that's a major part of what we do. The professional engineering part was probably a little better organized, even though there too, when you look at some of the problems we've had with collapsing buildings and so on, people don't employ the qualified people to do the design, supervision, and so on. And we've seen some of the results. But particularly the technicians and the craftsmen, there was minimal guidance. And this is one of the things that we are trying to do, to make sure that we bring them all into the fold.
The key things to look for are the training, the ethical issues, and the monitoring and evaluation of the work that they produce. No country develops without engineers. And engineers are involved in everything, every day of life. From getting up to even going to sleep. The water they drink, the road they ride on, the vehicles they use, the factories they go to and work, the transportation, everything is engineering. So you can't have one part of your whole value chain not properly trained.
We cannot sustain the way we do business if we do it with bad behavior. And that's what ethics is about, for us to do things the right way. So we in the Ghana Institute of Engineering encourage our members to behave well, to have the right attitude to work, to have the right values to work. And once we achieve these value systems, we think that in a developing country like ours in Ghana, it will go a long way to change the way the outputs of engineering are delivered to our people. And this is what, on this World Engineering Day, this is what I'll advocate for. That each one of us, first of all, it doesn't matter whether we are engineers or not, we have to behave well. We have to have the right attitudes towards the work that we do. And as engineers, when you become a member of our institution, you are expected to swear an oath of good behavior, an ethical oath that you do things the right way. And so this is what I urge all engineers in the developing countries, also in the developed world, to learn to do things the right way, the legal way, the ethical way.
I want to call on all engineering professional institutions across Africa to work together. Let's work in partnership. Let's collaborate. Let's all together promote the practice of sound engineering and STEM in all our countries.
And now, the special role of women in engineering and energy development now and the future.
Well, to start with, I'm a woman and I'm a co-founder and the executive partner of Earth Energy Advisors. Like all other professions, women are partners to men. They are human beings like everybody else, and therefore they come to their profession with their intelligence and their contribution. And I would say that in my area of work, when women qualify, they're equally competent as their male counterparts. So whatever needs to be done, they are able to do. I mean, I have led teams across the West African sub-region to provide all kinds of solutions to energy sectors in the sub-region.
The women in engineering are in the leadership of Africa's engineering institutions, championing through advocacy the workplace conditions to encourage retention of professional women engineers in the profession and STEM among girls.
We are trying to ensure that women are very comfortable in the practice of engineering, not just to enter the field, but whilst they are in the field, engage in enough continuing professional development, have the opportunities to work out in the field so that they are confident and able to practice their profession with confidence and stay in the field. It is not enough just to attract them to come in. We found that they come in and they find workplaces unconducive and then they go out. And therefore, this is part of the reason why we are looking at the kinds of atmosphere that is created in each workplace and trying to ensure that women and girls in these workplaces feel that they belong, feel that they are welcome, and feel that they can stay and practice their profession without any pressures.
With regard to the young ladies, we are still underrepresented. Typically, we have about 15 to no more than 20% of our population of students being young ladies. This is a concern for us. And so, as you know, I spend a lot of my time going around talking to young ladies to encourage them. There's nothing that stops them. But sometimes because they don't have the role models, they don't have the examples, it's difficult for them to see themselves in engineering professions. But we are working hard towards that.
Let us change the perspective when it comes to engineering decisions, engineering solutions as females, so that we'll be able to build the sustainable cities and to bring about the economic development, the economic transformation that we need as females, as engineers. Today we would like to celebrate all engineers. We would like to tell you that we appreciate all your contributions, and we say let us continue the good work we are doing as engineers and bring more females on board to turn the tables around.
As part of its mandate to promote STEM education, the universities and the industry partners organize regular science fairs and robotics fairs for young children. This is spearheaded by the Ghana Institution of Engineering. How about resilient innovation and transportation, with the adaptation of innovative and intelligent traffic control for congestion management and sustainable infrastructure and green transport, biofuels, and introduction of electric fuel, to which leads to resilient sustainable transport and reducing pollution in rapidly urbanizing cities. Engineers design sustainable and resilient systems for flood control, earthquake and earth tremors using sustainable materials to reduce carbon footprint.
So in terms of resilience, this project has been designed especially for the interchange for a 100-year period. That is, it has a 100-year lifespan. And what that means is that whatever we put into it in terms of the resources, the materials, and everything was done to the highest quality. So, we brought in materials which would help to enhance the life of, our concrete. We had, steel, we had tendons and all these things. These were done with a futuristic, approach. In terms of earthquake resistance, we have provided, some resistance to earthquake for this particular infrastructure that we have provided. So, as I mentioned, in terms of resilience, we have made our construction such that those who are within the various quadrants of the area of our interchange will not suffer as a result of the construction. So, we ensure that we provided these drainage structures, and these drainage structures have helped.
Motorization is increasing with associated congestion. Engineers are managing the level and intensity of congestion using intelligent traffic control to reduce pollution, increase safety, and minimize greenhouse gas emissions.
However, there have been many attempts to deal with congestions in the past. Way back from the early 80s, 90s, through the construction of interchanges, dualizing of roads, and all that. But I would say that congestion is in two parts. First and foremost, do we have a complete network? If we do have a complete network, then there's a different response. But in our case, invariably the network is not complete and we need to complete it first. However, for cities that have grown like Accra, where the network is largely complete, we need to optimize the use of the existing infrastructure. And that is where the role of intelligent transport systems come in. In Accra, we have a pilot route from all the way from the CBD right through to New Plan on the N6, the Achimota Road, where we did a pilot area-wide traffic signal control systems. There we have about 20 intersections that we've coordinated with cameras. We have detectors to be able to respond to the traffic variations, and we have a traffic management center. Of course, there's a fiber optic cable connecting the cameras and giving live feeds to our traffic management center, which you may want to see.
This airport has been built to withstand natural disasters like earthquakes, heavy rainfall, and strong winds. The materials used in this construction would last for many years, which makes the development of this airport a long-term investment in the transportation infrastructure of Ghana.
Well, SolarTaxi is an e-mobility company. What we do is we design and locally assemble electric vehicles that is made up of two cycle, 3 cycles, and 4 wheelers. We design that, we assemble that, and then we put it into sales, either through outright sales or lease to own or renting. Our quest is to provide a clean alternative for mobility in Africa. So that allow the modern African to get access to an affordable options and something that also doesn't impact the environment. Well, I think the first quest here is to doing our best in providing environmental friendly mobility options, something that is clean and doesn't impact the environment. Something that doesn't lead to airborne diseases and all that. So that is the prime pattern. And also affordability. Affordability is very key. If you look at the current situation where you have high increase in fuel costs have more than doubled over the past 12 months. But if you look at the cost of using electricity in charging your vehicle or powering from solar panels, it's still very, very, very affordable, close to about 2x affordability. That's what we are talking about here. And most importantly for us too, is to find a way to have an equitable means of engineering participation and advocacy. So getting more women in, getting more people from deprived areas to be part of it. The women part is very key to our agenda. We are gender empowerment focused. So we are the only engineering firm, like automobile firm, even in the world that has more than 50% of the engineering force being women. And this is something we take pride in, and we would like to keep on promoting that.
To cap it all up, we look at applied research and indigenous manufacturing.
Here at Jesu Ampabing, we have a production facility. It's about a 530 square meter plot of land that we got from the Jesu Municipal Assembly. And over here, we make a variety of agri equipment. Mainly, we have a flagship product, which is the multi-crop thresher ST6000. We do have a cocoa pod breaker, breaking machine that we are introducing to the market somewhere by March this year. We have other equipment that we make here also such as the multi-grain cleaners. We do have dryers too that we design and make right here. And then we have equipment, because of the way we are structured as a company, we do not only just make equipment, we are also able to design equipment. So that gives us the opportunity to also serve as manufacturing contractors for other companies within the country and outside of the country. Go inside, all the equipment that we make here, we design them using computer-aided design software. What that gives us is that we have the benefit of, one, you are able to fully understand how the machine will work. You are able to forecast what you may need. Understand that before you even pick your first piece of metal or put word to action. And so that gives us, I would say, one leverage where we are able to make equipment very close to like what is designed in terms of cost, in terms of material quality, in terms of efficiency, because we have, I would say, the added engineering advantage of having to be able to use computer-aided design software to design equipment before you even begin to build.
The mission of CSIR and the mission has been to look at how we employ the technologies that we develop in powering our economies and to support our industries. CSIR started with several institutes, and as of now we do have 13 different institutes spread across the country.
Health facilities all over the world generate waste. About 15% of the waste generated by healthcare activities are classified under hazardous waste. Healthcare facilities generate on average between 0.2 and 0.5 kg of hazardous waste per bed per day. The medical waste of prime concern to medium and small healthcare facilities are infectious waste and sharps. These wastes are waste contaminated with blood and other bodily fluids. Each year, an estimated 16 billion injections are used globally, and waste from injections contain potentially harmful microorganisms which can pose risk of infections like hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV/AIDS, and injuries to health workers and the community at large if not managed properly. In Ghana, the most common mode of medical waste disposal is by landfill, which is considered unsafe. To meet international standards, the World Health Organization (WHO) introduced the Injection Safety Incinerator Program to address issues of disposal and eradicate the risk associated with improper management of medical waste in the country.
WHO Ghana and Ghana Health Service contacted the CSIR Institute of Industrial Research, in particular the Materials and Manufacturing Division, to begin to produce locally made refractory bricks for construction of incinerators.
Over the years, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Institute of Industrial Research, has developed several heating processing technologies, including incinerators with operating temperatures reaching 1000 degrees Celsius for managing hospital and municipal waste. These technologies have been deployed severally across the country. The mechanized incinerator was installed to manage hospital and waste generated during manufacturing. Advantages of the mechanized incinerator: the double wall with refractory bricks ensures greater heat retention with a thermal efficiency of about 80%. The front loading enables safe operation and minimizes heat losses through the door during the charging process. A forced draft system together with a chimney is designed to ensure optimum air injection to support complete combustion and the release of less harmful gases. The mechanical charging system is designed to ensure safety and reduce drudgery during waste charging in between cycles. A charging rate of 75 kilograms at 10-minute intervals ensures the disposal of 3.5 metric tons of combustible waste in 8 hours with a destruction efficiency of around 90%.
RTKCs are set up to help these local manufacturers who design and manufacture the cook stoves, so that they will be able to get designs that are firstly specific to local needs, and then designs that do not consume so much fuel and then do not give off emissions that will hurt the climate. So that's why the RTKCs are set up. The WBT lab is where we start with manufacturers when they bring their stoves for testing. The WBT is supposed to simmer the cooking process. We check the amount of fuel that the stove is using and then the emissions that is coming out of the stove. So the emissions that we test for are carbon monoxide, we test for carbon dioxide, and then particulate matter. The particulate matter has different sizes, but the one that we check for is the one that has the aerodynamic diameter of 2.5. So we check for PM 2.5. Whilst we are doing the testing, we are also checking the parameters of the stove, the air inlet, the combustion chamber, the design of the combustion chamber, the gap of the pot. All these are to inform us so that if there are any modification that the manufacturer needs to make, then that is the recommendation that we give, so that they go and then do the recommendations, implement them on the stove, and then bring it back for testing. And then we have the fuels lab. As I said before, when you bring your stove for testing, the stove works with the fuel. So we need to know the parameters of the fuel as well. So that is what we do at the fuels lab. So from there, we have the ISO testing lab. So after we have recommended some recommendations for you to implement on your stove, then when you are sure that you have the final product, then we bring it to the ISO testing lab to test it for you. That is the final test that we do. So the ISO is also similar to the WBT, but that one is also simmering the cooking process, but then the parameters are slightly different. So you are simmering it for different power levels. So you do low power, you do medium power, and then you do high power. So those are the differences. But then we still also check for the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and then the particulate matter. We have another additional gas that we check for, and that is the black carbon. The black carbon is what is contributing mostly to climate change. So we are very particular about that. So when you bring your stove for testing, those are the gases that we test for. So the ISO is an internationally accepted protocol that we use for testing. And we are confident of our results because we do an inter-lab comparison with other labs that is not in Ghana, some in the US, some in Uganda, to be able to know that if you bring your stove here for testing and we give you the results, if you take it to the US for testing, you'll be getting similar results within the same environmental conditions that exist in this lab. So that is the parameters that we get from the ISO testing. So apart from the testing that we do, we also do an audit. If you have briquettes that you are making, if you have a charcoal production that you're doing, what we do is we advise. So if you bring us into your operations to do an audit of your process, then we'll be able to inform you as to what you are doing right, what you are doing wrong, what you need to change and all that, so that your whole process is audited. And then we give recommendations to make your products very good, especially if you are using it in a cook stove. So those who are doing their briquettes, those who are doing charcoal, those who are doing other waste products and turning them into briquettes or pellets. So at CSIR, these are the labs that we have available. We have an LI in Ghana that has been passed, and that is the standards and labeling for biomass cook stoves. So if your cook stove do not meet a certain standard that has been set by the Ghana Standards Authority, then your stove will no longer be on the market. So you need to meet these specifications and labeled before your stove can be on the market. We have been given 2 years for those that are existing currently to be able to modify their designs to be able to meet the Ghana standard. So CSIR RTKC is open to all manufacturers who have their cook stoves on the market to work with us to be able to bring their stoves up to the Ghana standard so that they can stay in business.
Remotely controlled solar irrigation system. One of the major problems that inhibits growth in the agricultural sector is the heavy reliance on rainfall as the main source of water for planting and the lack of irrigation facilities. In Ghana currently, there is a shift in the rainfall regime toward a longer dry season and a reducing rainy season. The net effect of these changes is a decline in yield, which ultimately affects the livelihood of farmers. Ghana is, however, blessed with inexhaustible resources for solar energy, which can be tapped through solar water pumps to facilitate all-year farming in Ghana. A vast potential exists for exploring the use of ICT in agricultural development, and one of such applications is by leveraging on ICT and Ghana's abundant sunshine for crop production. It is against this backdrop that the Institute has developed and tested a mobile phone application that remotely controls a solar-powered irrigation pump in the Ghanaian context. The mobile application has a multi-purpose interface for sending instructions such as turning the pump on and off for irrigation and also viewing water flow data. Data of flow rate is displayed instantaneously on mobile applications and can be accessed or monitored remotely from any location. This technology has successfully been piloted and offers farmers in the country the opportunity to minimize the over-dependence on rain-fed agriculture and provide sustainable technology due to inexhaustible solar energy resources. Benefits. The piloted technology is sustainable and therefore suitable for all year-long farming. Due to its simplicity in operation, the mobile application can be operated by farmers at all levels and at all ages. It will also help reduce farmers' workload and make farming more appealing to the youth and women. Save money, water, and time. It has the potential to increase annual yield by 2 to 3 times more as compared to the conventional way through all year-round farming.
My name is Engineer Michael Wilson, a Chief Research Technologist and the Head of Electronics Division at CSIR INSTI. The crux of our mandate at CSIR INSTI is to provide scientific and technological information to multiple stakeholders, including research scientists, industrialists, and also to policymakers as a contribution towards national development. In doing so, we work with multiple stakeholders and partners to package information in format that will be readily consumable by these stakeholders. This year, we have worked with multiple stakeholders, but we want to talk about our partnership with ICRA in the development of what has come to be known as the Agricultural Data Hub, for short the Ag Data Hub. The Ag Data Hub packages information using an ETL engine and transforms them into meaningful dashboards and APIs that can be used by different developers and stakeholders. The hub also makes available data that has been collected by multiple institutions and makes them available in visualized format for policymakers to easily understand what is happening on the ground. The visualization and dashboards are created by a team of in-house experts, including data engineers, data scientists, data analysts, developers who work together to package this information in format that have been demanded and requested by our partners, who include scientists, policymakers, and industrialists. The data can be visualized on our dashboards, which are publicly accessible through the Ag Data Hub, which will be going live by the end of this year. As the accounts will say, Yansa inni baako for trim, which means wisdom does not reside in the head of one man. Our scientists have created a dynamic portal where people, users, can interact with data themselves and create dynamic dashboards and visualizations that suit their own criteria. In this way, we allow them to interact with the data and create their own meaning out of the data. After the visualizations, our team of developers take over and develop useful tools and advisories that can be used directly by our end users, including farmers, extension officers, different people, including the transport sector. What we are seeing now is a weather forecast tool that was worked or is being worked on hand in hand with the Ghana Meteorological Agency to provide a 5-day forecast for the community. To improve the forecast that we receive, 360 geolocations have been selected, and what our team is doing is to match forecast against actual temperature and rain patterns with the idea of working towards using machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms to improve the weather forecast data. Our developers are well versed in different and multiple programming languages, including Java, Python, PHP, and whatever you can think about. Our team of developers work with on-ground experts to develop tools that are on demand by our end users, who are mostly extension officers and farmers. One of such tools is the cropping calendar developed for the northern region of Ghana. The calendar allows a user to select a value chain, select their location, and the tool generates a sequence of tailor-made advisories that fit the purpose. One key thing is sharing information across stakeholders. Using our portal or the Arc Data Hub, users are able to share information easily. For example, data that has been collected can easily be shared with other partners, and this will greatly reduce the amount of money and cost spent in collection of data. Here, a scientist is able to easily share their data with other scientists or other institutions, and the data can also be unshared. That is the beauty of it. Once there are partnerships, we can easily share data and reduce the cost of data collection. Not only data can be shared, but also resources and messaging. Here we provide a portal where users can send message to classified groups. An example is sending a message to Upper East maize farmers, which will automatically load all farmers in that group. We also allow the sharing of resources, which include videos or certified videos that support our end users, including extension officers and farmers directly. Welcome to the CSIR Institute Makerspace, a co-innovative working hub open to the general public. In the past, the Makerspace has collaborated with the OPEX Prize, with the Ghana Robotics Academy Foundation, and also with JA Africa to help entrepreneurs build their skills and prototype their ideas. Here we have all the equipment you can think about, ranging from 3D printers to CNC machines to robots and other equipment that you would need to fast prototype your idea. The Makerspace has been managed by the CSIR Institute Electronics Division for the past 3 years and has achieved a lot under its belt. The Makerspace operates under the Electronics Division, whose objective is to research and develop the next generation electronic equipment and robotic tools to support industrialization. Currently, there are a couple of activities and research works ongoing, including the design of an autonomous ground vehicle with multi-purpose functionality. The division is also researching on the use of artificial neural networks for plant disease detection. There is also work ongoing on the use of a bio-inspired algorithm to reduce the latency in IoT applications. Our doors are always wide open, and our team of experts are waiting for you to say Akwaba to CSIR Institute.
My message to engineers in Ghana and all over the world is to just continue to deliver our very best, because our countries, our communities, our world needs us. Without us, our absence will be felt, because we contribute so much to making society and living much, much better.
And so I wish everyone a very happy engineering week and a happy engineering day.
Happy World Engineering Day to everybody, to my colleague engineers.
This has been Ghana's edition as we celebrate engineers all around the world in this year's World Engineering Day 2023. Indeed, we are building a resilient world with innovative engineering. Happy World Engineering Day.